Hi. I'm going to continue the discussion about Lila and Saraswati. As we last left them, Lila had just seen her clone, had come back to the palace, and summoned all the ministers and personnel in the palace because they also appeared in the other universe. After seeing all this and dismissing the ministers and stuff, Lila called upon Saraswati, who appeared before her. And Saraswati was asked by Lila, please explain this whole thing, which I'm very confused in my mind. What's real and what's not? I saw my husband, a younger version of my husband, with a younger version of myself, with the ministers that are this age. You know, it's completely complexing me. And Saraswati said, you want to know what's real and what's not. Well, let me ask you a question before I answer that. What's real to you now? And Lila said to Saraswati, I see you, you hear with me, you are real. In some sense, then that other place must be a reflection of this reality. And Saraswati said, well, let me tell you a story that will show you the dreamlike nature of creation. In pure consciousness, the space of pure consciousness, in a corner of the Creator's mind, sits a dilapidated shrine. And in that shrine, living there, was a sage named Vashishta who had a wife, Arundhati. And they had kids, and Vashishta was very diligent in his spiritual practices. One day on a hill, Vashishta looked down at the bottom of the hill and saw a procession. And on the royal elephant was the king, and other people were following along behind him. Vashishta sighed and said, when will that opportunity come to me? And then he went back to his spiritual practices. Vashishta got older and finally quit his body. His wife, Arundhati, had asked the boon of Saraswati, the same Saraswati standing before Lila, that the sage would never leave the shrine. And finally, Arundhati died also. That Arundhati has been reborn as you, Lila. You made the same request of me when your husband, Vashishta, died. The king that is dead here in front of us is the king, is that same Vashishta, or was. He is now in that other space. So now I'd like to ask you, which of these three places are real? The one you were the wife of Vashishta, the one now where you're the wife of Padma, and the other one. And Lila, who you saw there, is a younger version of yourself. Lila said, my head's splitting. The next thing that Saraswati suggested was, well, in order to see this more fully, let's go back and talk to your clone. And that'll be continued on in the next story.